Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Final Fantasy VI, my favorite game. And we're here, so we just came to Narsha with Locke and picked up the stuff, put the cursed shield on, sell us, normal stuff. What we're gonna do now is head on over to Ebot's Rock. Seems like a good thing to do. And a little hop, skipping, and a jumping later. And we'll be right here. Now, what we do want to do is change up the party some, right? Because, well, we could bring Locke along. It's not bad to do, but I would prefer to bring Shadow. For reasons. Ellipsis, yes. And this party can almost certainly hack it, right? We're just gonna have to... Yeah, because they're mostly wearing good stuff already. Realm, of course, is mega evasive, and then Shadow's got great gear. We've got some of the best stuff a guy can get here. Probably gonna want to put haste on him, though. It's just everybody's got to have haste, right? Are any of these important for it? I mean, we could just wear a ribbon, right? Yeah. And if memory serves, we've got an amount of shuriken, but we'll just go and buy some more. They definitely sell them here. At a certain point, the weapons you get aren't that good, but we could actually throw a man-eater on Strago. I don't hate that. Magic of Age is just good. Realm's just so tanky. My girl. She's a killer, right? She's just a stone-cold killer. So obviously we're giving her Ragnarok in due time. But anyway, all that's to say that we're supposed to go into town. Yeah, that's right. I'm like, we didn't even walk in. Yay, we're home. I'll be in the house, okay? Because we haven't got to have their wonderful homecoming yet. I really like Realm. She's a good kid, So full of energy. I must be the only one getting old. Grandpa! You gotta come quick. Gung-Ho's hurt. Gung-Ho? His friend is Gung-Ho. And if you're hurt in this town, you go to their house and lay in one of the beds. Gung-Ho, hang in there. Who did this to you? It was hide on that legendary beast you and I used to hunt. Almost had him too. Hide on? He says mustachedly. Oh, cough, please. Gung-Ho! Strago, please. Avenge me. Oh. Nah. And Realm says, Grandpa, what are you standing around for? You're right. I grew old and forgot all about pursuing the dreams of my youth. Gung-ho, I'm going after him. Grandpa! Grandpa, wait, you're not thinking of going all alone, are you? I need to face the thing I ran from all those years ago. I need to get the best of it. It's a matter of pride, dear. It's a matter of you being a stubborn old man. You're my grandpa. You can't just sit and watch while you make things harder for yourself than they have to be. Bum, 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 bum. I'm sorry, Realm. It means a lot to me that you care so much. But Hound's a tough beast to track. Its name's come from the old word for hidden. After all, no one will ever find him if I don't go. To Ebot's Rock! Phew. She runs out. But, you know, he's still hanging in there. He's being very brave. You know, we'll have to do our best for him. And now that we've had the conversation, Ebot's Rock will open up, right? Because normally, you know, you can't walk inside until you've had the convo. But you know, time for Strago to feature. It's probably Strago. I've always said Strago, and I will continue. I'm hungry. Hungry. Give me something to eat. Give me something to eat or I won't let you through. Let me some coral. You got any on you? Skin flint. Get out of here. But anyway, so this is Ebot's Rock. It is a mazy little place, right? And you step on one of these things. Move out, and yeah. And because I, you know, charmingly don't really remember how to get out of here, Shadow's such a great character. Yeah, we're just gonna lay the beat down. Okay, we're gonna have to swap Shadow's weapon. Because how weapons that can do instant death work in this game is if they're immune to it, it will always trigger and give them a full heal. And there's, as I recall, plenty of those in here. Well, like, yeah, let's just take... the man-eater here, and at least it'll be functional. 5 pieces of coral? One piece of coral? Amazing. Mahadeva here. Oh no, we cast death on him. And it heals him. Amazing. You know, Shadow must be pretty annoyed with how much we're counteracting his hard work. Aqua Breath, that looks so different than I remember. But as we're working on the Paladin Shield, it is the least relevant time in the game. It's, you know, you gotta do a lot of fights to get it upgraded from the Cursed Shield. 255th, you know. 255th. Here. Yeah, this one will work because we don't have Kira and stuff. And is she already master? No, wait. How do we get re-raise? Phoenix, right? No, obviously somebody else has it. It would have been Terra. Or maybe we put her... No, we wouldn't have done that. Well... Yeah, we'll just go here, because we need re-raise. We need it. And Terra's not here right now. And that'll give her a level 3 spell quicker, too. You know, we will... Well, no, because this will... This will juice our power, though, you know. Let's be practical, right? We'll just, look, if we have to level up some for the magic place, that'll hardly be the end of the world, right? 5 pieces of coral. Now, you can either Zoolander it and be like, I can't turn left, or you can only turn left, right? If you ever get lost, just say, can I turn left? So at this point, you have to figure, as soon as we find where to go, yes, we'll definitely be able... Oh no, I messed up. Haha! I love you some coral, you got any on you? And we gave him some coral. We had so much coral. Corpulence happiness, and I'm stuffed. And then they'll get out of the way. And then they'll get out of the way. Oh, right, you wanted to get through here, didn't you? Oh, I shouldn't have ate so much. And then it's about to be time for Hudon. Now, the thing is that Strago, he needs to survive this attack to learn it. So we might have made a mistake. But, I mean, we'll be fine. We can level up. If we can't do it, we'll just level up in here some, right? And we're gonna take the crummy shield off of... The cursed shield off of Celis for this boss fight, because it's probably gonna last longer than the duration of the curses. I'm like, wait, she's already got an enhanced on. We're trying to get a shield here. Boom, boom, boom. Do we have anything for auto shell? Yeah, here we go. We're just gonna throw guard bracelet on him. Other than that, I mean, the Aegis shield... Well, no, let's go ahead and give him that, because she'll be fine. And this will give him bigger magic defense as well. Obviously, right after this, we'll take it back from him. But Shadow can kill, like, anything, so... Well... That's Hydon! Here we have the Erebus's and Hydon. I'm like, wait, we already are hasted. You don't want to use Tritox's ability here because they... Oh, right. They've got the, I totally forgot about that. They've got the reflect thing. It'll be fine. She'll just take a healer. I absolutely forgot a little bit how this fight works, but so this is a non-reflectable thing. They will, like, resurrect them. The key is just that we need them to, Oh wait, this one has reflect. Why am I doing single target? Yeah, let's just do that again. Great. But she at least has fire healing there. I'm like, we need a Grand Train cast. We could probably get that to happen. I think he resurrects these guys. It's hard to remember. I do know that if you bring like a proper like bum rush killy party here, then you can absolutely crack him before he lays the Grand Train down. I mean, we're not in danger of, like, popping them immediately, though, so we might as well work it. Grand Delta, there we go, Grand Train. Does Strago live through it? Yes. Alright, clutch. So now all we have to do is win the fight. We used our, level 3 there. Does Bio heal him? I think so, but I'm just gonna check. Doing it early won't matter. Yeah, it'll just heal him a bit, you know. Totally forgot what he has going on. Who has scan? That's fine. We'll just... throw some thunders down, and then Lakshmi comes in. We're gonna throw the good shuriken here. And you pay so much mana for a small heal, but hey, he doesn't know the other heals, right? And then we throw the good shuriken for slightly more. I don't know if stone even hits him. Yeah, for a tiny amount. I gotta remember he's weak. But yeah, and now they're back again, which is fine, right? Because we will just destroy them again. Yeah, there you go. So, as you see, he doesn't have that much. When you have super high single target, so like Shadow, right? Because the thing about Bum Rush is you can only get the target that you want whenever it's down. But we learned Grand Delta. There's our Grand Train. Strago, it's a very awesome lore because it's, you know, like non-elemental and it can't be, you know, reflected. I don't think. I think it's not. I think both of those things are true. He's like, I did it. I really beat Haidon. After Gung Ho, he's been avenged. I mean, like, yeah. Gung Ho. Gung Ho. What's all the fuss? Can an injured man get some rest? Gung Ho, listen to me. I defeated Haidon. You what? Nope, he's not. He really did it. Well, a little monster like Haidon could hardly expect to stand up to the likes of me. I can't believe it. But looks like I have to concede defeat. You showed me up, old man. By the way, how are your wounds healing, Gung Ho? Oh, my wounds. Yes, they're fine. And he was fine, actually. That evening. Two hours later. So there I was, creeping through those caves that seemed to go on forever. And I finally reached the deepest, darkest cavern, and there he is, right in front of me. I stared the ugly brute straight in the eye, I raised my staff and let him have it. Bam! He did do like 600 damage to him. Thwack! Pow! Right in the kisser. Oh, I wish you could have been there to see me. Oh, and then... Where's Grandpa? Well, I think he finally tired himself out from all that jabbering and nodded off. But, do you think it's okay to leave it like this with him thinking I was really hurt? Says Gung Ho. Don't worry about it. If we hadn't tricked him, he would have spent the rest of his life doing nothing but talk. Even if you were faking, that monster wasn't. I don't know, a man like him ever managed to raise a granddaughter as wonderful as you? Yeah, well, I don't know how anyone could be as terrible an actor as you. Strago is probably the only man alive who would fall for a performance like that. What did you say? Yeah. Ignores magic defense to deal massive damage on enemies. Great Train's really good. It takes a ton of magic, of course, but it's sort of like a poor man's Ultima, only it costs a ton, just like Ultima. But now it's time for us to go forward. So we probably drop Strago from the party now because we're gonna go to a place where, well, we'll just take a party that makes sense, right? We're going to Figaro, so the two of them, right? And then we're going to a place that sort of jives with Cyan's aesthetic and stuff. And then, you know, it's also a Terra kind of place, so bam, we've got a party. And because we dropped Celis, you know, just for a little bit, you know, everybody needs a chance to shine. We're gonna put the cursed shield on her. You know, my favorite characters always have to wear the cursed shield. Oh, right, we've already taken the ribbons away. And Sabin's totally jacked now. 108 strength is so many strength. And then we just need to get him a hyper wrist on. Yes, there we go. Yeah, because getting to re-ray is pretty important. And for him, we'll just get him further on the path to doing something useful on the offhand chance. Because for him, you know, he's very much a character that only needs the support magic. Here, we're about to master there, so we'll just keep on keeping. And, yeah, there you go. Time to get on the road. We'll let Cyan fly the airship. The least Cyan thing imaginable. Do we want to fight Doomgaze, actually? I'm like, are we... Alright, we don't have any multiples of 5 in the party. So, why don't we actually try to fight Doomgaze once or something? So you can see him in the sky now. You used to just, like, fly around. I don't think he sits still, though. It's not what I think about him. Because on the SNES cart, right, you would just fly around and he would just jump you in a random battle in the air, which was very tense, but kind of felt bad sometimes. Right, here we go. It looks like the final boss in a Persona game. Death Gaze. It's really Doom Gaze. We know what he's called. Oh no, we didn't put a ribbon on her. You know, that's okay. We didn't put a ribbon on her. This is very funny. We gave her the cursed shield. Yeah, it's like, I absolutely forgot to put the ribbon on. I did the bum rush a couple times, and now, you know, Cyan does very respectable damage. Alright, and then he flees, so there we go. We get a good crack in on Doomgaze there. And I'm trying not to just totally obliterate people's, like, setups and relics and stuff, but when it comes to, like, a ribbon, you know, we only have so many. Really, I think just dealing with him is desirable at this point. We'll just, you know, we'll just go on a little Doomgaze hunting spree before we go. You know, there's, hey, found you again, buddy. You can't be a multiple of 5 or he does this thing where you die. Level 5 death, but here, you know, he hits Terra super hard, but that's fine, because we've got mega damage out of Sabin and Cyan. You know. And Edgar does his best. Whoops. Well, you know, not whoops. Trance is totally appropriate here. But he fled. You know, that's the breaks, right? Sometimes you walk the line, sometimes it walks you. But yeah, we're just gonna chase him down. We've got the power here, right? A lot of people don't like Cyan, like, battle-wise, but I feel like, you know, you just gotta give him his place to shine, right? You just got, especially in this version, though. Because normally it's just like, you hit his level 1 thing and he's like an Edgar, right? Like, respectable, medium, high accuracy damage. But here, now that you can do what used to be, you know, Sword Art 7 by just a click rather than waiting in the active time, like, it's so good. He's so strong. Because that's like bum rush power. That's awesome. He doesn't even have high stats. We're just gonna zoom around again. Doomgaze, oh, I don't know how much hit points he has. Don't let me lie to you about stuff like that. There may be a time in the past where I actually knew. There certainly was. But for all that I love the game, it's not like, I'm like, oh, he has 78,000 hit points or whatever. Some people know stuff like that just off the top of their heads. I often know it for a brief period of time about a game, depending. I used to know everything about Diablo 2, but now I don't anymore. The world just gets so wide, right? Where is he? Where is Doomgaze? For I much desire to speak with him. But we're just gonna comb. I mean, I guess if we go at sort of a little angle thing here, that'll... We accidentally just ran into him while I was complaining about not being able to find him. There you go. But he might die on this one. We've been getting some really big cracks in on him, like... Because really all you have to be able to do is live through an attack and not die to level 5, you know, and then you're already on the way. But, you know, he's gonna run soonish, but we might kill him right here. Yeah, there we go. He didn't run yet, so... Boom. There you go. Do gaze, give me Bahamut. So, as you might expect, Flare is real good. Piece of Magicite fell from Deathgaze's maw. They obtained Bahamut Magicite. Hey, Sons from Undertale. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. I hope this day finds you well. But yeah, so Bahamut gives you 50% HP on level up and Flare. Now, that's 50% more HP than you would have gained on the level up, not 50% of your HP each level up. More's the pity, right? But it's a fine enough bonus. Flare is a very good spell, but we are pursuing re-raise on Terra right now. So we'll just put it on Cyan because... Not because he needs this magic, in truth he really doesn't. But the HP will be very nice for him, right? So we'll just throw that on him while we go on a little journey. And now that we've dealt with that, it's on to Figaro. I'm the barber of Seville. Not really, that's not how it goes. I'm not capable of singing, like, quiet enough, nor with headphones on, to do my impression of an adult man singing Alfalfa's version of Barber of Seville from the color version of the Little Rascals film, but that's the one I would sing. Just because this place is called Figaro. I was about to do it, I'm like, no, no, no. You know you can't sing. Bum, 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 using Duolingo in Ukrainian? That's awesome. I wish I had the discipline to learn another language. I would learn, like, Latin, or Greek, or classical Chinese, or Sanskrit. Learning Sanskrit would be sick, too. Those would be, like... And then, like, probably Japanese. Those would probably be, like, the 5 that if I just suddenly knew those, that would be awesome. There's a whole bunch of stuff of historical and, like, philosophical interest to me that just, like, isn't in English at all. And that's mostly the classical Chinese stuff. But it'd be so cool to know Latin. I could go and talk to Dan Quayle. It's a joke for the old people. Alright, so we're here in Figaro. Like, don't we have a conversation to have here? Probably. Or maybe they've dealt with that at the moment. Anyway, what we're doing is going out the wrong door. Anyway, so we're just gonna take a little trip, right? We're gonna take a little trip in Figaro. You know how you can go under the castle and you get cool things, and we were supposed to go down the stairs at the beginning, weren't we? Yes, we were. Like, why am I acting like I don't know this game? We go to the left and we talk to this guy and he pulls the lever. We can't pull the lever. He's like, it's not safe. What he means is, it's my only job to pull this lever, and if I let you pull the lever, you're going to discover that I don't need to pay you to pull that lever. This stratum's unusually rough. We seem to be catching on something. Here. Oh, it's been lovely. I'm on vacation. This is like, it would have been my normal day off, but I'm on vacation, which means I don't have to do anything but sit around the house and enjoy the nice cool air conditioning and pet the dog and stuff. It's been very, very hot here. I'm an old person, so I talk about the weather. Now we have gotten stuck And I honestly don't remember how to get out. I'm like, where's the exit? It's okay because we need to level up, but it's this is like earlier in the game, so I honestly forgot how to leave this place. No. So what happened is we're here because we want to walk into a special zone, and I'm just going where we went the earlier time. Anyway, I'll remember how to do it eventually, probably. Like, is it through... different room? Anyway, so what's gonna happen is we're gonna go to, like, a cool secret area under the waves where there's, like, this fallen kingdom. And then we're gonna, you know, unravel what happened there when you know, dinosaurs ruled the world and all that. But... for all that I'm quite sure this is how to get there, this specific way we went, I'm like, why can't I remember? It's just been a very long time since I played it, right? So it's not through that way, so... oh, right. You go here, and then through the... obviously. I think we all know who really deserves to be locked up in here. He means me. Because I ran out on him, no. What he really means is, it's Kefka. Cave to the ancient castle. Well, bit of a spoiler there. A very mysterious place. Yeah, this man doesn't have rays yet. Can you learn that on something else that is productive, though? Like, I could just go through the menu this way now, that's right. I mean, Bismarck will give him it very slow and give him strength. It's not the same as giving it quickly. He doesn't really need a magic as much as he needs other stuff, though. I think we just do this because, yeah. Bio's good, right? Well, he's got Bio Blaster. You know, I'm convinced that I'm thinking too much about this. Let's just take the rays and never talk about how long that took again. Annual. Here. I'm like, let's just hit the auto here. I've proved I can do bum rushes. No, we won't do it forever. Just for a little bit of time. Explosions! This is a situation where, like, Pummel would probably get the job done, but, you know, being dramatic also works. Another wing edge, you know, for our man Locke. Who we will eventually use, but, you know, where? And that's the thing, is we're gonna have to... Alright, we've done everything, and we haven't taught Locke anything. Nah, it'll be alright. And the Figaro lizard there dies. Savin learns how to cast gravity. Tell him goodbye, he is casting gravity. Monster in a box. Alright, let's get ready to rumble. Master Tonberry, so these guys are serious business, right? And so Traveler's really good, and we should have brought Strago for it, but you know, we didn't. What are you gonna do? Come on, live through it. Yeah, there you go. Now Terra is about to... Terra's about to die. But there we go. To Doom, I mean, but she would have, you know, we could have resurrected her afterward, but we get it done right in time. Enough damage, out of science, excellent damage, and the bum rushes, you know. And we get the Gladius, a very, very good short sword, right? Although I think no one here is going to wear it right yet. Because really it's just a punchy sword that gives evasion. It's really good to give to, like, Shadow because his insta-kill knives are often very annoying. You know, you could always shuriken with them, but, you know, it's nice to just swing sometimes, you know, let him get the old sword arm some practice, but Gladius, one of the great weapons of the game, right? It's better than regular good. The Gladius is the real deal. Good evening, Ellie. This is not Ebot's Rock, we're past that now. There was a mysterious lump in the ground when we were going underneath it with the whole castle, and we're investigating. And then the title card of the place helpfully says, Cave to the Ancient Castle, so you'll never guess what we're going to find. That's a pretty cool area. We are closing in on the final areas in the game. And we're not, like, exactly ready for the Tower of Magi, but we can get ready. It is super easy to just, like, get very, very effective levels when that's what your goal is. There's a forest with a whole lot of dinosaurs in it, and you just fight the dinosaurs. There might be a better way. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure Dinosaur Forest is the best. It's the best way I ever knew, anyway. It's so good that a person in the game is like, hey, you should go to the Dinosaur Forest. I heard they got dinosaurs there. They don't say it as much as all that. But it's basically one of the only random battle places that anybody recommends to you. And the dinos are only in this one little forest thing. It's not that big of one, which is sad, you know. I bet they used to have a bigger forest, and then, you know, because somebody spared no expense later, it was harder for them to be where they needed to be. But we're still working on the Cursed Shield with Terra. Because we don't have Celis here. It's gonna be Celis' shield, right? We're not moving it around once we get it, but it makes more sense for Terra to go to this place for reasons. And it's underneath Figaro, which is the reason why I like to make Sam and Edgar. And anyway, I wanted to get them a couple reps. Because Sabin's one of my favorites. And Edgar's awesome too, even if his personality is a little, See, like 5 cells, you can survive a horror movie, but not through a good dinosaurs. You absolutely, exactly. I love when it's a plot point later that people are just bored by dinosaurs now. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to quibble about the realism of this movie's contentions, but I don't know if people are going to just get bored with the dinosaur that quick. Doesn't sound right to me. But we got Doomgaze taken care of, and yeah, Bahamut's rolling along. Because the thing is, whenever you walk around in a cave like this, so I'm pretty sure I just backtracked some. Or am I supposed to? Oh, this is the way out. Yeah. Whoops. The thing is we very much want to be leveling here and learning magic and stuff. You enjoy those movies, though? Oh, me too. Haven't seen the most recent couple. I saw the first one. I saw the first one in theaters, and then the second one, after the theaters. We're just gonna do a pummel. Why? To see if it's good enough. Yeah, it does half of a bum rush, right? Which, the only difference between a pummel and a bum rush is how many inputs you have to do. But if you just preload it, then, well, also that you get pummel as the very first blitz in the game, and that you get bum rush as the very final culmination of his career. Although not the final blitz, right? Because you learn one, at what level? 45 or something? I forget. Like, kind of late-ish, called Spiraler, where Sabin lays down his life for his friends and, like, heals all of them. It's terrible. You don't want to use that one. He's not alive at the end of it. So he says, hey, go to Slime Forest. No, Slime's not this one. It's like, no, it's impressive. Yeah, no, they've got... they've got a whole linked mind underneath. That's very cool. Did we go here? Yep. So pretty funny there, You just gotta look around for it. But Terra's actually weaker than she normally would be because of the shield. The Cursed Shield, in addition to giving you every negative status effect in the game besides Imp, I think, it also gives you -7 to all of your stats. But after 255 fights, which we're nowhere near, I don't know how many, I would estimate we've done like 50 so far with the Cursed Shield. But after 255 fights, it becomes the Uncursed Shield, the Paladin Shield, the finest shield in the game. Or the world. Yes, the world. But this thing's just called Devil because, Figaro Lizard was already taken. Bum, ba-da-da. Magicite Shard. So a Magicite Shard is an item, but it's like a little piece of a Magicite, right? And you break it, and the breaking of it casts a random Esper, which can actually be very bad, but is often just not useful. But it's a cool little thing you can do. They're not like... Because regular total Magicite, right? That's like the essence and like person of the Esper is still there. in that crystal artifact. The magicite shards are like, you know, gold flecks upon the ground sort of thing, you know. You toss them and the vague notion of that Esper comes out for one time and one time only. Bum, 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 bum. But I usually just never even use them. There's certain items in games that feel like kind of gross, and I don't, you know, like anytime there's like the soul of a person is tied up in this item, break it for power. I'm like, I don't know, can't we just keep it on a belt? Like put it into a cool little pendant and carry it around, not in a weird way, just, you know, for respect. So nobody else uses it. The ancient castle. We're here. What is this place? Crucially, beautiful running water. We were underground. We are underground. The memories of the past. Hey, Arcade, how's it going? Good evening. How are you, my friend? It's an Esper attack. Let's loose our Espers! Yeah, great. This is the site of a 1,000-year-old battle. So you never played any Epic games under 7? You know, this is my favorite one for historical reasons, mostly, you know. Lord Odin is the only Esper left to us. Has he recovered from his injuries? Doesn't matter. We have no other choice. We must leave this final battle in Odin's hands. Contributions the other day. Yes, we did get the pizza. We got a stuffed crust pepperoni one, which they undercooked, but it was still very good. You know, still got a lot of that one, and then I got a three meat, and it was great. My favorite thing of ordering is you order on the online thing, and they put it in a little box, then you put in a code to the robot, and you never have to talk to anyone unless they forget to give you your sauce, which they always do. But there's like people in line, and you just gotta walk in there like you're the most famous and important person in the world. You're like, no, it's okay. The robot knows me. And then you just walk out with a pizza, and everybody else looks at you like, wow, that guy is inspiring. This is what I imagine the experience is like for other people. City destroyed during the War of the Magi. But, I like to read it. It's a little crispy. You know, maybe I should have done that. Probably should have done that. Odin gives him a slice. Final Fantasy has always cheerfully used names from, like, Indian and Norse myth, and they have basically zero things in common with, and some other myths too, right, around the world, but there's lots of them from those, and they have, like, nothing in common with the namesakes, right? So, like, whenever I was a kid, and now, like, Shiva, I hear, and I think, Ice Magic Lady, you know, impressive. I never thought you would be able to turn me to stone. Oh, yeah. They turned him to stone. Like, getting distracted there. But yeah, there's a legend that tells of an ancient battle between the Esper Odin and a powerful Magus. It took place in the Great Hall of a castle. Thankfully, Sabin is the one leading the party, so he's the one who's like, I know this legend, I'm a scholar. But nobody has an individual character hook to go here. It's where I like to bring Terra here, because, you know, it's the site of the battle, and then I feel like Cyan has a historical interest in military history, you know. A historical interest in history. Great use of the English language there, buddy. Anyway, we press on. So there's some very good items here and other things. But you know, this was the Final Fantasy that that I looked forward to most. You know, because I got the first one. That's how I learned to read. You know, I played it on the regular Nintendo, the NES, and then we had 4 as well, which was called 2 back in my day. You know, and then this one, which is 6, but was called 3. And my family never ended up getting a PlayStation, right? We got an N64 instead. And as we all know, the Square moved over to Sony for quite some time there, which broke my little heart. So I did play Final Fantasy VII, like at friends' houses and stuff, but I didn't own it then. And like, I feel like we have a monster in a box to get the offering here. Is there a monster in a box for that? I think so. Yeah. I'm like, why? Yeah, definitely there is. Oh yeah, the samurai soul, of course. But there's a whole history. I'm like, is he immune to poison? Let's see. Edgar gets like totally outclassed by a juiced Sabin or Cyan, but he's so good at the beginning of the game. I mean, he's good at the middle of the game too. You know, it's just that all the people that are great get greater if you don't lean into what makes Edgar good, which we didn't do, you know, we just gave him some generic stuff. Alright, just delete Terra because she's got the shield where it makes her take extra damage from that. We'll heal it all up though, it'll be fine. But I loved the first one, and I loved 4 as well, and I desperately wanted this one. And without telling the whole narrative of it, you know, like, back in my day, you know, you couldn't always find the games you wanted to buy, you know, in the store. And I eventually, because I was a kid, right, and we eventually got this at a pawn shop, the SNES card for it, which was a very happy day indeed. We get 30,000 kill and 5 magic AP. Monsters in a box don't normally give you magic AP. Is that true? It may not be true, but Master Scroll, that's the offering. The offering is this cool relic where you swing 4 times instead of once, but you do like half damage, right? Like, I don't... Why does not work? Master Scroll. It's because I was looking for the word offering, yeah. Attack 4 times per turn. Now, this is like an auto-attack thing, so you would only do this on a person who's like, you know, an auto-attack specialist. So, probably like Locke, right? So what you do is you get a Master Scroll, an offering, I'm just going to call it an offering and a Genji Glove, which gives you 2 weapons, and then every time you auto-attack, you swing 8 times, which is pretty good. But it's a matter of accuracy and stuff too, because if they have high evasion, then, you know, maybe swinging those double times is not as good as just knowing you're going to hit. And you also lose out on, like, stuff like, you know, your other relics, but it does make an auto-attack character very punchy and is a great little angle. Super slow Kiraga, don't care. You just work on getting the spell for him, seems fine. How close is she here? Alright, 1 away. I'm like, we've been on that for so long. Armored weapon. The person I used to always put the Offering Genji Glove combo on was Cyan. And because that would be how I would... Oh, right. Right, this guy's got Reflect on him. Forgot what I was saying about that. It doesn't matter. The Punisher. But this is just like not a good rod, right? I mean, it's okay theoretically, it just isn't. It's like the Soul Blade, where it's like, hey, you can take your resource that you could use to do damage, and then instead of doing damage with it, you could do worse damage physically. I guess it's like you could sub it in, because you can switch weapons in the middle of battle. So if somebody has a Reflect thing and you don't have anything to deal with that, it is something you could move to there. So I guess it's not useless. That's probably its intended purpose. Machine Step Light, yes. Exactly, you know, it's logical enough. But speaking of 7, so my first experience with 7, my first mini experiences with 7, at my friend's house, whose name I do recall, but I try not to, you know, throw proper nouns out there too often, right? You know, other people's stories are part of mine, but I don't want, you know, anyway, it doesn't matter. But at my friend's house, you know, we were kids, you know, so it was when 7 basically came out, we were there, and he had a PlayStation and Final Fantasy 7 and like maybe one other game. He didn't have a memory card. He got the game, I was super pumped about it, and I was like, you're gonna love it! And then he didn't have a memory card, so, you know, and his mom would like turn off the PlayStation. Stepmom, it doesn't matter. Would like turn off the PlayStation sometimes, you know, like he would go to school and be like, don't turn it off. She'd be like, we're not using the electricity on that. And so we would replay, but anytime I would go over there, we would replay like the beginning of Final Fantasy VII again. So, which is the best part of any game, right? But especially the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, which is brilliant. Like, Midgard's awesome. So, you know, we were friends in, you know, 5th, 6th grade. We were still friends for ages. I still consider him a friend, although I've not talked to him in many years. Being a person like me is like that, you know. I'm just like, I just assume everybody that used to be my friend still is, even though we haven't spoken. But yeah, we played a whole lot of the beginning there. And here, the main feature of going in here is you can be like, wait, there's that. Is there a ribbon in this room, though? Is there a ribbon hidden behind the thing? Is that here? Let's see if first of all, I do get this front over shit. I bet. You know, I do have a 64 at the moment. And DK64, I just haven't played yet. I spent all my time with it on GoldenEye, playing the first level of GoldenEye over and over. And some of the other levels sometimes. I mean, a lot of the other levels are great, but really I'm working on the first level. That's the one I play. It's very elegant and graceful. If the controllers worked, if the control worked, the controller works fine. Alright, so here we want to pick up... and we'll just try to get re-raise on him. Totally desirable. Because we're just going to try to pick up Ultima on Terra now, and then he's got the Bahamut. Fender to get him teleport. Getting the teleport everywhere is great. Never see the input to cast? Alright, so yeah, Blitz. That is a thing that's only for this remake of it. It used to be that you would go to the menu and it would tell you how to do the blitzes. Right, so that's how you knew how to do it. And then in battle, you just hit the blitz thing, and then you did the input from memory, and if you made a mistake, the game didn't tell you that you, like, fat-fingered it a little bit, and you just get an input called incorrect blitz input, so it doesn't happen. In this version, you can just do it one time, and then when it's on 7's turn, you hit X for auto battle, and it'll do the last blitz you did. So when you see me doing it over and over, it's mainly just to show that I am so cool and know how to do blitzes. But that's his special ability. So he's got, because he's a martial artist, and that's the thing. So he's got to go through his little hi-ya, ya, hey-ya. I gave him a ya and a hey-ya, and I kicked her, sir. One of those things to do. The bum rush, or phantom rush, as they call it. Try to speed around double summon first level to do the ancient hard difficulty. Yeah, on double O for that one, yeah. If that's what you mean by hard. Because there was Secret Agent was the hard difficulty, but I would consider that, it's like normal, hard, and hardest, But, yeah, no, Damn is such a great level. That is the level that, like, vitalized my interest in speedrunning, because I didn't really pay attention to anything basically in it before, but Carl Jobst, who's a YouTuber of note, and he set a world record about it. It was like in the papers, and I'm like going through the internet, and it's like Australian man breaks Goldeneye record. I'm like, what? And then one thing led to another, and now I have 64 in the other room, although I barely play it. But, it's funny about first levels, right? Because I also, in Mario Kart 64, obsessively played the very first level and was quite strong at it. I'm sure I was not world-class then, and I am not now, but I was certainly... Nobody beat the ghost that I set on that level that I met, okay? But yeah, but that's the Blitz thing. So everybody in 6 has a gimmick, right? They have a special ability. Edgar's is tools, so he uses a tool, and he has different tools to do everything. How Blitz works is that way. Cyan's is just a little grid now where you click which one you want him to do. It used to be bad. It used to be a bar that filled up like your bar filled up for you to use something. So you would have to wait. Like this whole time, we would be waiting for Cyan to get to the level 7 move that we use all the time. So he ends up being a lot stronger than he used to be, and honestly, that's just fine with me. I don't mind. Odin crumbles, leaving behind a shard of magicite. And he casts Meteor, cuts down all enemies, causing instant death. Now, the funny thing about Odin... I think... I was told that they changed it, so you see at level up speed +2. This is the most insane bonus that you can imagine. For reference, speed values in this game, unmodified, are in the 20s and 30s. His is 40 because he actually got a few bonuses, and he's got a ton of gear that make it faster, and he's a fast guy. So all of these people are around 30 agility, which is what speed is, right? So, a few levels of +2, just 5 levels of +2, that's 30% more speed, just 30% more turns than they used to get. It's so strong. Now, it used to be that, because as part of this area, we're about, in 10 seconds, we're going to get rid of this Magicite and get a different one. But it used to be if you got that, then you didn't get that speed, but I heard that they moved the bonus over. And you see me jumping in on Figaro. Yeah, it's on deck-ish, right? On vacation, but I do want to wrap this up because we just wrapped up Triangle Strategy, or rather wrapped up the New Game Plus I was doing. I may well play another one of it, but I'm not planning it, in the next few weeks or anything. we're gonna do our little inputs there, hit our inputs there, and then... Oh, these guys are not at all weak to the wind. Because he's got elemental stuff as well. So the blitzes, you know, they fill different niches, you know. Fire, mass attack. Oh, right, these guys, they don't care about any of the elemental stuff. All that time for the eclipse. Yeah, you know. Clearly, I don't remember how everything in the game works, but that's because, you know, you just do the thing that works. At this point in the game, I'm, like, basically never using magic unless it's a boss fight. So it makes sense that... Right there, but yeah, so... There's only a couple more zones in the game. Oh no, she died, my girl! She has Doom every time because of that old cursed shield, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. And unfortunately, ends the battle with her in the dirt, preventing the curse from getting work on it. But getting the cursed shield uncursed is like the most important thing in the world, right? There's nothing in the world that even approaches the importance of that. And we got a gold hairpin and a blizzard orb. Now, gold hairpin is half MP use. It's fine, it's good. I just never ever use them. There's an item that makes MP usage 1, which I'm like, if I'm gonna modify it, that's the one I'll do. Like, do we just walk into the wrong one here and, like, no, it's... Yeah, it's just the one room on that side. Blizzard Orb is a thing for Umaro, the Abominable Snowman. It's so cool because you start out with him and he can only like hit people, and then you get something that lets him toss people and something that lets him do like a magic Blizzard Orb at him that's like, you know, a non-reflectable ice elemental move. Very cool, unless they get healed by ice, because you don't control the Abominable Snowman. Although, I hate to think that we might do a whole run and not even showcase him at all, but the thing about Kefka's Tower is, because there are a few characters that are, like, entirely missable depending on what you do. Like, if you leave Shadow on the floating island, right, Shadow doesn't make it. If you leave Mog to die, to get a golden hairpin of all things, it's not even a hard call, then you don't get him, and then you also don't get Umaro. So those are your three missable guys. Everybody else, you know, you can get in the world of Ruin regardless. But they want you to be able to have a full party for Kefka. So there's three people you leave behind, which are often, you know, like Gao and Umaro, because, you know, I don't imagine them having as fruitful of conversations, and that's really what defines my party setup, right? Is whether or not, like, I'm gonna be able to imagine them having cool conversations. What we're gonna do now is get this, and then we're going to, you know, do my favorite thing, which is expose a hidden secret in a bookshelf. There's a book encrusted with glittering gems, the Queen's Diary. I have fallen in love with Odin. It is a forbidden love, I know, but the flames of passion obey not rule or reason. Every time I think of that noble man, my heart flutters and fans the flame yet more. And who could rightly fault it? When the fighting ends, I shall tell him. I must. And this is why you have to bring Terra here. The game doesn't make you, but you should bring her here. She says love between a human and an Esper. And it's just for that, because again, the game gives you like a line of dialogue, and then you, as a kid, get to imagine 1,000 more lines of dialogue, creating your deep and abiding love for the game. Because I'm walking here, and then she's just like chatting about it, you know, and Alright, and what do we do now? We just... Like it's behind the throne, maybe? I think we have to hit the book first. Guy straight casted Meteor. That's an endgame spell, man. You should be giving me more experience than that. There's only one of them. You actually get plenty of experience from those fights. Yeah, here we go. I'm like, no, it's not behind it. It's over here. There you are. But yeah, so it's this, then the Tower of the Magi, and that's everything. That's everything. You know, there's a little bit of... We'll probably do a little bit of leveling up before Kefka's tower, which... We'll see. But now we've got this secret thing. Speaking of, there will be a dragon here. Don't be surprised when you see the dragon! He's blue. Now, being a blue dragon... Oh, right. The cursed shield makes her take more there. Did he just cast Reflect or not? I don't remember. Well, she's gonna hit him with a thunder here, and it's really gonna do a lot of damage if we trance up a thunder. But we need to get him done in 40 seconds, right? Or she'll die. No, she blocked it. Huzzah! Because Sabin is a total brick house, right? And Cyan is too. They're both basically equivalent in crazy, reliable damage. And then Terra comes in for a casual 5k. Of course, she would be doing a lot more if she didn't have a crummy shield on. And we really should have rezzed her. This might pop the dragon. I haven't been paying that much attention to how I feel. Yeah, there you go. Bum rush real good. Sentatsu-kun. This was the scimitar, probably. Yeah. We should take Madeline. No, we'll just take Ifrit, right? Give him a little half to power. And here we're about to just get rid of Odin again, you know. But I've been told that it's fine. Even the queen was turned to stone. Yeah, they totally did a magician's nephew. Different context, though. From the stone. Is that a tear? Odin's majesty surges with newfound power. Odin becomes Raiden. And yeah, alright, so now he learns Quick, which stops, allows the target 2 actions each turn by stopping time for everyone else. Quick's a crazy good spell, right? And it gets speed +2. So they've changed the game in the best possible way, because it used to be that you didn't want to go down here. And now, like, getting this on him, who's already the fastest dude, like, let's get it on... Let's give the spirit of the noble retainer to Cyan first, right? Why don't we just... He's already the fastest. Let's give you Bahamut. You can get more HP. My tanky boy. But it's 11:20 right now, so we'll probably try to tackle Tower of the Magi, which is like a tough nut to crack. But we'll probably try to do that like right now, and then tomorrow morning will be time for Kefka's Tower then. What do I like best from the remake? Oh, good question. There's a single thing that makes my life so much happier, and it's amazing. So the auto battler is nice, and I think the best thing... Alright, I was going to say something else, but the best thing is that now you can actually see what stuff does by the menu. It used to be pretty impenetrable, like, you would get an item and you would equip it, but it wouldn't show you, like, what it did exactly. You couldn't, like, see, this is going to give us these 4 status effects. It would be like, this has the spirit of blah, 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 but it wouldn't be like, this doesn't let you turn into a zombie, right? Like, the item would do it, but the relic might not. And it, you know, it was a lot of the information about how the items worked was sort of hidden or not accessible. You couldn't look at a shield and be like, that shield is going to make me absorb such and such. And now you can. But the... there's a button right here, right? Now, when you click the stick, you go from walk to run. There's a relic called the Sprint Shoes. And in the real game, in the SNES version, if you wanted to sprint, you had to go into your menu, go into the relic menu, which was different than the equipment menu, and equip the relics, which again, were in a different menu, and go to your Sprint Shoes, and then walk around, and then when you wanted to do something else, you would go to the menu, unequip them again, because you only have 2 relic slots. And this just freeing you from that with the click of a button is so nice. It's the best quality of life thing. Look at that. He's just very focused. He's thinking about punching. Also, hello, Teddy Butcher. How are you? Yeah, it's more like, so right here, you can just look at the shield, and on the shield, it'll tell you these stats. In the other game, you would literally be like, you would go to equip it, and you would see your stats change, but you wouldn't be able to do, without doing the math yourself, right? You wouldn't be able to be like, this shield has 43 defense on it, and this other shield, you know, had such and such. You just like, you wouldn't know what you're giving up. So if I want to drop over here, yeah, okay, we drop the defense, but it'd be like, alright, what are we making over here? It's just everything about the stats being on it in a direct way is just a better thing. And then menu stuff is better too. You'll catch me all the time going like this on an Esper, and then going through a whole other menu to go to one, right? The reason I do that is because, as far as I know, you couldn't just like scroll through them like this. Maybe you could. Could you RNL click through them? Maybe. But that's a good change too. There's a map you can't see because it's hidden by my head. The map's a good change, although I never use it. It'll like, and the world map's good too. Now it'll let you see if there's like items in a place you haven't got. This one gives plus 2 strength, always do it. Yeah, you know, I know it does. I know it does. Sabin's got 108 strength right now, so we're really just, you know, trying to just roll it. I mean, it's with hyper risk, but yeah. Yeah, we already used a bunch of stat modification. We're just trying to roll through. I don't mind putting a thing on to get the points, but this playthrough, I haven't played it in a super long time, but I've just been trying to play, like, pretty direct, right? not trying to over-level and overpower ourselves beyond, like, the boundary of good taste. I mean, Bum Rush has to be, like, 5k, right? But yeah, Bismarck is so good for when you get it in the game. Zone Seek. But, you know, there's that. And then, of course, this is the wrong way. We have to go the other way. You can totally walk through that wall. It's not clear that you can from the map, but you can. I say, if we hit the... Like, what made that map happen? I'm sure I don't remember. Oh. Oh, the thing happened. Alright, I have a headache now. Just give me a second, guys. Alright. So, I've got a display problem. You may have noticed the light on my face changing. That's because sometimes my display drops, like, the color temperature change I have on it and becomes, like, terribly painfully dark, or light rather than pleasantly dark. There we go. Everything is the same again. Alright, yeah, and it hurts my eyes very badly. But, is this thing on? Say Tara's bad. No, Tara's great. I love her. Sans waste time. No. Deputy Specialist Locke. Yeah. Cyan's not bad. Cyan's great in this remake. Cyan does as much damage with the sword art at 60 strength as Sabin does with 108 strength for a bum rush out of his hits. Cyan's excellent. Cyan used to be bad in the original. I still liked him, though. Locke is good. You know, we wanted to bring the brothers cause Figaro and Terra because the story of the place, and Cyan to be inspired by the Noble Retainer here. But yeah, Locke's cool. I like Locke. The thing is that, like, because Locke's at the end of the fire cave, you sort of, like, well, unless you rush for it, which you can do, it takes a little bit more time to get to him, and our airship's on the other continent, so let's go right back, shall we? A lot of daggers in the game, so Locke is good. Yeah, when people like Locke, I just feel like they want to like him as a character, because what's actually good is Go-Go, right? Like, if they wanted a character who could steal and was amazing, they would just get Go-Go, who's like Locke plus anyone. No, Go-Go's the best character in the game, although you can't modify his stats. But he's so good. Go can equip weapons? Sure he can. Daggers are the one you can do, or you can put a merit award on them. You get it from the Coliseum, right? You want to use your gear? Yeah. Then you just go to the Coliseum and you bet, like, anything that gets you a merit award. Is it the Tintimbulum thing? Anyway, yeah, and then you can, which is the classic thing, right? Because Go-Go is more of like a mage-geared person without it. And then you can put him in the heaviest gear you want. totally worth it. Go-Go's awesome. Because you give them the abilities, right? Because you can put a Go-Go, you know, you get Mimic, Blitz, Steal if you want it, but I would use Mug, you know, just go and, you know, Mug, Genji Glove, Blitz, no, because Blitz is a little extraneous. I mean, Throw would be a great choice as well in there. There's a lot of great choices for Go-Go. Go-Go's crazy. You got 7 Desperation Attack once. Nice, you know, it's so tricky ever making them work without trying to force it, right? But they always get me so pumped when they ever happen. I don't think we've had a single Desperation Attack in this playthrough. We very rarely are doing auto attacks anyway. Alright, so what we want to do now is... we could just... maybe just take like a couple dinosaur levels while we're talking about the future, and then we'll go dino. And then we'll go to the forest here. We'll try out the Mage Tower, which you can trivialize by Moogle Charm. Oh yeah, the other change is you can put your encounters on or off with click of a button, which used to be a relic only for Mog. But... so the dinos, there are T-Rexes, which are totally doable, and then there are Brachiosauruses, which are much punchier and do like Ultima and stuff, and might just kill you even at like a strong sort of setup. So we are gonna try to remember to save rather often. Whoops, Tranced is bad, but yeah. But Tempest is very good. And we get hit with a meteor here, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna die. Let alone getting hit with yeah, I think we just die here, right? Yeah. Well, you know, we can try for that Desperation Attack now. Nope. Alright, anyway. So the Dinosaur Forest is very dangerous. Look, they got a surround attack on us, and that's why we died. I'm sure that's of some comfort to our bones as they're getting chomped on. But anyway, you know, we could carry something to not get pincered, and we probably will, even though it's boring. Because, you know, the meteor did a ton of damage, right? You know, 80% of the HP pool. Always watch them? Huh. The inventory glitch ruin FF4? I mean, I don't think so. I don't even know if I know what you mean, man. I played FF4 on the carts, you know, FF2 is what it said on the front, but I would say Final Fantasy IV wasn't ruined at all. Great game, you know. I don't think, you know, I don't keep track of what people do to break the stuff, but yeah, so it's... we get an Imp Partisan, which is an Imp weapon. There's a set of Imp gear, right? And the Imp gear gets you pretty amazing stats while you're an Imp, and, you know, not the rest of the time. Oh, it was on auto attack for him. Like, as long as the other one doesn't follow it up with a hit. And then we'll just hit the Kiraga here. You said Mystic Quest is more fun with cheaper custom plays. You know, I had Mystic Quest also. I did not have that high of an opinion of it. It was fine. I played it. I was happy I had it, but I didn't find myself going back to Mystic Quest a time and time again. Mystic Quest felt like an interesting foray into, like, sort of Zelda stylings, which I did appreciate. It reminded me kind of that, but, you know, with sort of Final Fantasy sensibilities underneath it. But for me, 2 and 3 were head and shoulders above it. I really liked 2. I liked the story and the characters. I liked how many times they were like, oh no, we were just kidding, it's not over yet. I thought all of that was great fun. And then... yeah, so 7's already got 2 more agility from it. I guess we'll just do, like, no more of these, and we'll just try the Magic Tower, you know, a little bit of that. So 1990. You're a bit older than me then. I am not quite 40, but it's just around the corner. Go to Bastion. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, no, so Final Fantasy VI, I got 4. I don't remember where my family got it from. I think it was a gift from, like, one of my aunts or uncles, as lots of our video games were. 6, I got in a pawn shop for, I don't remember the exact price. I should, but you know, it was like less than $10, but I checked many a pawn shop for months and months and months, and, you know, I got it, and, you know, it was in the pawn shop. And I never actually saw Final Fantasy VI in a store. I am from Arkansas, and the store that we went to never had a copy of Final Fantasy VI, although I desperately wanted it to. But yeah, I got it in a pawn shop for less than $10, and I think that's where I got Mystic Quest as well. Not Final Fantasy, the first one. That one I got for my 5th birthday. It is how I learned to read. Back then, of course, we just called it Final Fantasy. We also had Dragon Warrior and Dragon Warrior 4 on NES, and those are like the core of my... And then I played Destiny of an Emperor. My uncle had it. I didn't own that, but I played it on an emulator. I played, like, everything on the RPG section-ish on the emulators once I discovered them somewhat later. I rented this game twice and got it at Christmas and New Year's. Oh, it's awesome, man. No, I love this game so much. Seems like you do, too. But yeah, no, I'm having a great time with this remaster. It's very solid. And anyway, we need to get a crew together. Assemble a crew. Now, the most important thing here is that the only thing you can do is cast magic. Now, we already know the 3 people we should take. So who's the 4th one, right? Now, I'm inclined to... just take Mog. If we take Mog, we can just skip all the random battles. No, that's against the spirit of the place. We can take Strago because he can use his lures. However, he's not going to be very good in this. But nobody else is going to be great at it either. Because these are our casters. And we just need somebody else here. You know, why not bring him along? He's not going to be useful, though. Hey, sorry, but I never seen a RPG or blockbuster return. Well, that is a way to acquire them. I do understand, you know. I think I had an uncle that did stuff like that. For all I know, that's where I got my copy of Final Fantasy as a kid. But... we could try to bring Strago. But Earthbound, oh man, what a game. I wanted that one a lot. Obviously, I couldn't find a cart for that. Or Chrono Trigger, or Ogre Battle. My friend would rent Chrono Trigger a few times, so I did play it on the cart at his house. We played it there, but then when emulators came out, we had a great time playing the most Chrono Trigger and the most Earthbound. Earthbound, I didn't have a copy of, but I did, like, somebody that I knew did, so I did play it a bunch on cart there. Ogre Battle, I don't know that I've ever seen a physical copy of it, but I loved that game. I used to play it all the time on the emulator. My favorite thing to do was to set up like a Beastmaster flying thing. You know, you would get like a griffin set up, and then eventually you go to dragons or whatever. Or I would have, all these setups that I would stay in the back thing and like let them come at me repeatedly and just level up as much as I could. Oh, and like trying to get all the best tarot bonuses. Oh man, I love Ogre Battle. You know, Tactics Ogre I don't have as much experience with because back whenever that was going on, in the 90s, the PlayStation emulation wasn't so good then, and then I just never really played it. I don't think I've actually played Tactics Ogre, right? Like, ever. I should get on that. But... Blooded Sun, Dark Dawn. I haven't played that one, yeah. But also, good evening, Luke. Secret Evermore. Yeah. Alright, so... it's time to be at the Cultist Tower. Also, Luke, I don't know if you caught any of the stream from earlier or whatever, but it turns out you can recruit Han generals only under specific circumstances with Yellow Turbans. They need to be the last person in their faction, I think. You know how you can get a faction leader like that, and it'll transfer it over if they don't have any other land, and they lose the capital of the thing and stuff? Yeah. Do you know who we got? He's now the Prime Minister of the Yellow Turban Empire. Cao Cao. We got Cao Cao. And his ability, which we haven't got yet, is gonna be amazing, right? Map-wide reduction for abilities for Yellow Turbans. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Change our army going backwards. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun, man. But well, we got that, and yeah, we took Chang'an from Maotong, who had declared, and Yuan Shao, spoilers, but he's not gonna be a problem for us anymore. There's still the Kingdom of Song, though, and then Yuan Shu makes the third. But we're going up the tower now. We're probably gonna mostly die, but it's okay. We've got... oh right, you can't even use lures here. It's fine. Alright, we I forgot that we need to wear our reflect rings. Which one of y'all knows reflect? Does anybody here know reflect? No. Alright, so in conclusion, I failed to prepare and we have to... we can't run. Alright, so we, I feel sick. Anyway, we just lose here, right? Because we forgot to bring reflect rings and none of our guys know reflect. Hate. My brothers had an emulator box of Sega games, had like 1,000 games on it. You can only play like 5 of them. Yeah, when they first came out, the emulators, they were exhilarating to find things, and yeah. Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna lose. I really unprepared here. I mean, but are they even capable of killing me? Yes, clearly yes. Can't believe I forgot the reflect rings. It's like the most elementary thing. Why did I say it was cheesy? It's the only way you can get through here without Ultima, because they just can't reflect on themselves. Anyway, I'm really annoyed. Maybe it's worn off now. And if not, who cares? There's nothing left for us to live for. It wore off. I hate everything. Fortunately, we still have our reflect rings. Picking up 4 reflect rings is very important, because there's all sorts of places in this game where I literally don't know what you're supposed to do without them. And then, of course, you get to the very end, and he kills you with Ultima, and it's like the only place where reflect rings won't help you at all. And they're totally mandatory for the rest. Oh yeah, and Strago's not gonna level up at all. We shouldn't have him in here. Yeah, we're just gonna go back. We're gonna turn encounters off and run out. We should just get somebody with more hit points. Cause like you don't get experience there, which I totally forgot. But yeah, I think the thing is, like, back when I was like first simulated, it was like the Wild West of it, right? Like the very beginning, as far as I know. And like when I first started, like you couldn't even get like the SNES emulator barely, type of thing. And yeah, we'll just bring 7. He's got courage. But it's like when because we had to go through, and find on a website where to get, and me and my friends, like, select what we wanted to get, and the downloading speed was slow, and sometimes the games would be bigger, so you'd be waiting, like, an hour or 3, and so there was very much a sense that, like, you were earning the time you were going to spend on these games you were emulating. Like, I had so many fun hours playing Civilization, the first one on an SNES emulator. Wonderful stuff. Now, this would have been when I was like 6th grade or so. So, like, before I could have gotten enough to get these games, even if they were available, But where was the most played only Nintendo games growing up? That was the bulk of what we did. My family had NES and SNES and N64. But, I had friends with Sega and stuff like that. But alright, so let's try the Magic Tower one more time. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just Moogle Charm our way up and be like, whatever. But I'm like, who's on this trigger? I'm like, who has the other reflect ring? And well, now Celis is here. So she can carry her cursed shield again. Because it's her shield, right? And Tara can go back to being a fast lady. Alright, one more time with feeling. Yeah, and then GameCube I never owned myself, and that was like the edge of it. And then stuff that happened in like the PlayStation 3 Wii era barely happened to me at all. I played like Oblivion, and I played Skyrim, and I played Borderlands 2 a little late to the party, right? But I didn't play much there. I played a lot of World of Warcraft there, and then just like games that I already had played, and then I spent a few years not really gaming much at all, which was not altogether a happy time for me. But of course, since it's an entirely magical place, you wear your reflect rings. But look, all it takes is one enemy putting reflect on itself for me to be like, all right, you earned it. You wanted the fire, you got it. Lived out the whole little for you guys. Yeah. Well, you know, that's what I do now mostly. I do buy a game every now and then. But the vast majority of what I get is from Humble Choice. And I had a couple of years of a subscription of it where I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I did. But I kept paying it, you know? And so then I still had a couple of years of games, which is so amazing. But that's why I have, you know, like, you'll hear me say sometimes, you know, I have 1,000 games. It's like 12 or whatever. But I mean, I get, you know, 8 a month, 96 a year from Choice. And that's, you know, not very much money. I mean, $15 a month is, for a subscription where I keep the games, I think very reasonable. And it is like that's my one thing, right? I don't have anything else I pay by the month besides like my phone bill for my flip phone. Because I need it for emergencies. Oh, I was hilarious at Worth. Realm with the steel chair, she's so freaking strong. Yes, well, you know, adequate. The front's a little busted now, right? It's seen better days, but it's got this beautiful little background to it where, you know, it's aspirational. You can, you know, that beach, it exists nowhere but in my dreams. That's when I first got it, and then because there was the bundles where you could get them for crazy cheap, which they still do, and then they have what's called Humble Choice, which is their subscription service, and that's what I mainly use. I still check out the bundles. I very rarely get them, but I also get like a little bit more of a discount through their store because I've been a member for, you know, like 10 years now. Humble Bundle isn't like telling me to say these things about them. I'm just a fan. Humble Bundle is why I play Total Warhammer. It is why I played it in the first place. I didn't even know it existed. And for that alone, the immeasurable happiness that I got is, you know, thank you, Humble Bundle, for arranging with a business to take my money for your business. With me? Oh yeah, no, for sure. There was definitely, you can get games for under $1 thing here. Now, that's the thing with Choice and why I like it so much is because, oh, they hit them with the old death. Because you still, you know, $50 a month, 8 games, $2 a game. You know, some of them aren't games I'm that interested in, but I can give them to other people too. I can give the key away, which is fine. And sometimes it's a game I really want. I got Octopath Traveler 2 from it, and I'm gonna play that, you know. There's plenty of really cool stuff. I'm not trying to tell people they should get Humble Bundle, but I'm super glad I did, because too, for making videos on the internet and stuff, it's cool for me to be able to just, you know, sometimes have coffee and scroll through my collection. Another Crab's Treasure, I don't remember where I got it, but it must have been from Humble Bundle, right? And I really am having a great time with that game. Guardians, indeed. You know, and I wish I had more money than I have, like everybody. But I could certainly spend more money on games if I wanted to find it in my budget to do that. But I don't want to. Like, I actually really like that I've built this big Steam library in a thrifty way. I'm like unironically proud of it. It's like how happy I am that the vast majority of my books I have gotten, you know, from secondhand stores and stuff. You know, like, sure, I could spend more money on new books, but look at the wealth of my collection, right? We're gonna go for Thunders here. Just because I can give it doesn't mean they deserve it. Exactly so. And there's some games where I'm like, well, you know, I'm interested enough in it, but, you know, actually, man, Seven's got some weak magic, but hey, at least he's got the hit points, right? Because really, a very tanky character is what's called for the other thing, because if they're going to be doing the damage, somebody needs to be standing up and fighting and healing people, right? If somebody dies, he can resurrect them. But there's all kinds of games where, even where I know if they'll be good, I'm like, you know, I'll wait. I'm sure I'll have a great time playing Elden Ring and get really mad at it too, but I'll wait for it to be on sale. It's on sale sometimes. I thought I was going to get it this Steam sale, but it wasn't on sale enough. You also got way into free games like Smoky Your Kids Roy, Flash Kids Roy. Yeah, a whole lot of my obsessions were, you know, they saved me money, because I got so into Diablo 2 and Halo that I didn't really care about buying more games for a bit there in my late teenage years. And then I got into World of Warcraft very heavily, which was $15 a month, you know. My threshold for acceptable in 2004 and now is $15 a month. But I get so much more from Humble Bundle, and basically every time that I see my friends playing WoW in Discord or whatever, they ask me to play again. Or they're like, come on, why don't you want to be unhappy and play a game that isn't fun? You know, World of Warcraft. And I just, like, whenever I'm claiming my Humble Bundle games, I'm like, this is such a better way to spend my time. And we get a Genshi shield. Such a good shield. Huge magic defense and evasion, you know, nothing not to like. Say hardly have the time to play games that already haven't been buying too much lately. Exactly, you know, and I picked up something on the sale. Oh god, I don't remember what it was. It doesn't matter, don't quote me on it. Maybe I didn't get anything on the sale. But yeah, I mean, that's the good thing with the library, you know, I have a good selection. I'll be able to get what I want out of it when the time comes. We're gonna need to spend our ethers pretty soon. You know, it might be smarter to go with, like, golden hairpins over haste here. But fortunately, they're pretty willing to hurt themselves. And again, I wasn't going to wear the reflect rings, but the first level 30 magic hit me with it. That's one of those fully touched cards looks broken all the time. Doesn't. They really have to do that. You know, it's just so it doesn't have much to look up, right? Right. But no, one day I hope to play all the games I have, right? Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing to be able to do? I daydream about that, but... No, and I just received a Steam gift card from my mother. Thanks, Momsy. Which is going to let me buy, you know, and now I have to spend it, you know. I have to find something that's available. But... I was thinking of getting the Halo remake, but then I was like, I'll wait and see what it's like. And then the internet was like, if you like Halo, just don't get this. Don't you not want to be unhappy? And I'm like, oh, right. I guess I won't get it. Anyway, I heard that if it was free, I would like it, but I almost paid $50 for it. No, not really. I didn't like have it in the cart. I don't trust those guys. I'll only buy a new game if I'm like... I don't care if it's bad. But, come on, we're gonna finish this up here. Remember all the thing you do here to strip the vault character at $40 more expensive? Yeah, indeed. It's like, wow, do y'all like have like a boardroom where you make these plans? Because this is actually where you're supposed to level up your magic, right? You do it here so that you can cheese your levels. And you get your bonuses. Or, you know, for the case of Ragnarok. Did she really not have anyone on this whole time? That's fine. Here's the Bahamut. There's a whole bunch of stairs, and there's a save point in one of them. Is it this one? Or is this the dragon? Yeah, this is the dragon. This is Pearl Dragon. We're just gonna osmose up a bit. I feel like almost everything in this tower, if you take all their MP, they die. And also... I'm like, no, it's not true. Right. Buy your revocable license to play in the game. We'll take away in 5 years and enjoy not playing it now and not being able to play it later. Yes. I saw there's like, because they put these new like collectibles in the game, but then they put like all these out of bounds, you automatically die things, which is just terrible, right? And Sus lives with 0, 0 above head. Speaking of, we need to give her a regular shield for this fight, because Pearl Dragon is no pushover dragon. And they were just going to spend all of our ethers here, or rather, some of them. Pearl Dragon! Holy Dragon, sure. Whatever. Oh no. Well, you know, it doesn't heal itself that much. I think it's actually fine. We're just gonna flare him. Because just because he's healing himself a bit doesn't mean that matters. Max is better, indeed. So this Pixel remaster is actually, in general, I like almost everything about it. And the stuff I don't like is... I'm gonna make a video someday about why I think it's a worse poem. No, Since but we're older Aquacar around here. Indeed, you know. Back in my day, it's like, I play this game and I'm like, this is my favorite game. And it is, it's even true, but like... It's shocking how... Well, I guess I have, like, my ruts of preferred ways of playing it, and there's a lot of different ways to doing it, but, like, it's shocking how, like, inherently repetitive the JRPG in this early and middle era is, right? Because the modern JRPG, when done to its most excellent form, here I'm talking Persona 4 and 5, or Shin Megami Tensei, like 3, 4, and 5, where they're just like really, really, truly tremendous achievements in gameplay. And then you play this, which is the same thing over and over, but paying attention to stuff, you know, and Holy Dragon, indeed, a bunch of holes in them. And we get the Holy Lance. You'll never guess how many holes it's got. It looks like Swiss cheese. Yes. But the music's amazing. The music's still amazing. I think they remastered it. I think I put it on the old style anyway. And a lot of the pixels are good. I mean, a lot of the backgrounds are wonderful, but like some of the character pixels, sometimes I'm like, why'd they have to do it like that? Back in my day, they looked a little different. Oh, that one had 383. Yeah, that was a good one to pull. I'm like, one of these guys is gonna have a lot. Yeah, it's like the Osmos was... Yeah, like, I think it's just that one level 50 magic guy that doesn't die from being Osmos down. Like, why did I think we could just do this? We can just do this. We can just do this. But I detailed the enemy sprites are in the parties, right? Yeah. Well, too, a lot of the sprites, though, for the enemies, there are a lot of duties that they pull. So those sprites are used on, like, 10 enemies through the game that are recolored over. Maybe more in some cases, right? You'll get, like, a whole lot of them. So the enemy design guy is like, yeah, you know, they're going to see this a ton of times. I need to make this look super good. And they're bigger. you know, that's the real thing, right? Is because it's reused on the overworld, they have to be a lot smaller in form factor to be the same pixel art there for the movement and all, but... Flare! Gotta do that first for the Dragon Quest. Well, you know, I definitely noticed it in the first Dragon Warrior game, which is what I call it. But yeah, in Dragon Quest 1 and in Final Fantasy 1, it was already a thing there. Because, I mean, if what you do is, you know, I'm gonna pretend to know how video games work, right? But if you're tight on information, right, because you're in a limited system there, like, to change a color over is probably just like moving a couple little numbers over, right? Somewhere in there, whatever symbolic interaction they use for the system, you know, and then... So maybe it's a matter of, they're like, no, I'll do like 500 enemies. And they're like, no, you're not listening. I only have space for 100 enemies with 5 colors. Or 120 enemies with 1 color. Started a saving cartridge space, became saving undev type, yeah. What an iconic motion. They're like, well, you know, now we have to do this. And right after using the ethers, we finally... reach the save point. No. This is on 35th floor. There's still miles to go. Another force armor, one of the best armors. By a pretty huge margin, right? It's extraordinary. Huge defense, huge magic defense. Because Diamond Armor's got good defense. And big magic evasion, just awesome. Terra is just a house now. It'd be better if she had a circlet here. Why doesn't she have one? But we may be able to win at the end. So the thing about the end is there's this huge knockdown, drag-out monstrosity of a battle. And then at the very end, he like dual casts Ultima on you, which does like a bajillion damage. Realm with the multi Blizzaga there for 8,500, my girl. Because she's got juiced magic from learning the 3s from Tritalk. Terra learned Ultima, always a good sentence. Oh yeah, you need to learn Scan, Terra. very much an inverse relationship to tech development and innovation optimization within the gaming industry. Yeah, you know, it is a shame, but yeah. And then there's, like, is there really not a save point in this place? I guess maybe there isn't. But anyway, so what you do now is you can just click encounters off and run all the way up here if it doesn't work out. Do we have I don't think we have anything that's going to make us not lose here. Yeah, we put the guard bracelet on her, because here we can't afford to rely on reflect, right? Because we have to be able to throw re-raise on everybody. So a gold hairpin on the two of them. Because really it's about living long enough to get your arises on, which actually means I'm like, wait, does Rome even know that one? Yeah, it'll be fine. So you walk in here, right? And when you walk in, there's a pretty sweet item. Or is there? How you feel about grinding games? Well, you know, it just depends. A lot like how you feel there. You say you feel there's time and place for playing this gradual curve that matches it normally, but you don't want to have to level, but if it grinds the point, yeah. And exactly, you know, the incremental bonuses, that's why I love a JRPG, right? I like seeing your guys get stronger in appreciable ways, but it's like, you know, you want to be rewarded, but not too much. You want to get stronger, but not too much too quick. You know, and this game gives you a lot of unique ways through the Esper system to modify stats, so you can get hyper powerful. Or, especially later on, where you're like, alright, we're going to the final dungeon, now we need 3 full parties, and we've got 4 weak people. You can mod their stats up while you're leveling and be like, alright, nothing but +2 magic to you, and then after 10 levels, 20 magic points, now they're half of a wizard. And it's very cool. And of course, the later you go in the game, the better you are at achieving this. But it's, sometimes there's a game where once whatever I was grinding is over, I realize I don't like the game anymore. Dead by Daylight was like that. I had the best time ever, like, unlocking things and learning the characters, because when you got to Prestige level 1, when you got level 50 on the character, then all the other characters could use their abilities, their perks, right? You could select them, not their abilities. And so in your loadout, and I just delighted in unlocking and mastering all of the things and getting access to everything. And then basically as soon as I did that, I'm like, well, now what do I play the game? The Soul of Tomasa, is this? Dual cast, yes. I'm like, that's what it's called now, yeah. So dual cast lets you cast 2 magics when you cast a magic. It's real strong, and we're going to, you know, we're gonna get it here to, there you go. This fight is one of the toughest in the game. Because you get it, and then you try to walk out, and you've just thought, like, after all that, you're like, oh, well, after that, okay, we're fine. Lord Kefka's treasure, return the treasure. I'm like, but I don't want to. But we have super good shields, so we're just gonna get to going on them, right? And, I think actually we have haste on everyone, but we might as well go for it. I think he shifts his weaknesses. I think he's one of those guys. Yeah, we already got it. So what we want to do here is... cast to re-raise and re-raise. Suddenly muscles, indeed. And there's the barrier change. Because even without the block, right, we still have plenty of time. But, like, so for this guy, what I always just do is take shots in the dark. Because he'll change the barrier all the time. But you gotta figure, if he's gonna change it, oh, well. Like, what are the odds that he'll pick the thing to absorb that you're casting at him? Because with our great shields, you know, we're doing plenty of good work here, and now we just need to... like, please don't heal him. 0. I don't think we researched the thing to actually, like, search for it, but oh, wow. And I just cast 2 blizzards into it. It's fine, probably. Wasted a re-raise, but I'm like, why are we casting Bizarre with her? She should be casting Ultima. Anyway, we are playing this hilarious clumsy. It's fine. Why don't we just act like we're learning? 5,000. Jeez Louise. You know, what you're supposed to do is... I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what you're supposed to do. I just always brute force this guy. Like this. This is literally what I always do. I don't know why I was acting like I wasn't gonna do it. You know, somebody knows Ultima, so we're gonna have her cast Ultima. Like, you want to go? All right, we're out of MP. It does take so much MP. We should have given her a hairpin. There you go, and then she gets a billion MP again. Osmosism, which does nothing, but hey. Can you slow this dude? Maybe. Can you change the cycle? Maybe. There's a few barrier changing people in the game, and I confess that I never really learned how they work. Because normally you just bum rush them, but here you just Ultima them. What we need to do is do an Osmos and follow it up with an Ultima for her, so we don't have to spend one of her turns in doing it. Because she's almost damage capped here, of course, because that's my girl. But normally, because there's a skill you can use to scan them, but I just don't think I learned it on anybody. Oh, it's right here. Libra. But anyway, there's the Ultima. And that is why you have to learn Re-Raise, because Ultima clearly does far too much damage for anybody to live through, right? 6k, like, you gotta be, like, level 70 or something to live through in Ultima. But we do it! Hooray! But Re-Raise, in grand RPG fashion, means that you're not really dying at all. And we did it! And like, yeah, we can't teleport out. That's right. Maybe when we're not on this floor anymore, we can though. Cause there, once you go up there, you can't get out. No, we're not allowed to teleport out. Well, we're just gonna. I mean, I'm gonna go to bed. So yeah, we're just gonna turn the encounters off. Look, I totally would have gotten out. Okay. But what I normally do here is actually just bring Mog, and then you can just Moogle Charm the whole way up, because I find not being able to use my abilities kind of annoying. It's not nice, fun over. It's not exactly, you're like, oh, and then the cherub came down and said to me specifically, you're a hero. I love you and I appreciate you. You've never done anything wrong. It's just so many floors. Midnight 30 is a little late to be finishing the Mountain Dew, but I got so engaged that I forgot to drink it and I wasn't going to throw it away. And there we get the Sotomasa, which makes anyone into a totally cracked caster, assuming they weren't one already. But yeah, but you can get Jerome. There's a bunch of great gear in there, but that is, what's that? Well, you know what that means. That means it's almost everything. There's basically nothing to do except go fight Kefka now, right? There's 2 dragons left. They're both in the tower, if memory serves. so we have to leave 2 people behind. And, you know, by grand tradition, we usually just leave Gao and Umarum. Because they're the least cool people, right? But... So you start with, like, an anchor character for physical damage, you know. Cyan and Sabin and Shadow. Gogo and Sabin are the most logical pairing, because Gogo can just mimic the Blitz. And then you don't have to spend the Blitz slot on it, which is fine. And then, you know, you get Locke hanging out over here with them, and the brothers, you know, they'll be happier with other people, and then he can hang out with Terra, try to shoot his shot. And then you have, you know, a kind of serious crew here, where you have the fighter, and then slots which don't do much, and then the crazy wizard. But the thing is, if we do this right, well, a lot of these people are still pretty weak, so we're gonna need to do a little bit of leveling before we go to Kefka's Tower. I likely will do some of it off screen, but not like a ton, right? You know, just to get most of the people up into the mid-30s, and then, well, yeah. So what does a leveling cycle even look like, right? So you bring like 2 weak people and then 2 people that are strong. You know, you go like so. And now he can get the Holy Lance, which is pretty cool. And we can, you know, just put him in the front, and he can try to be a hero. And here, what's important is that they're getting great bonuses from their guys. Other stuff matters too, but not as much as them getting great bonuses. Alright, so we're just gonna do a little bit of leveling as I cycle through pretending to go to bed, right? But it will happen soon. And the current plan is that we're going to be doing this in the morning and going to beat the game, right? The final dungeon is not swift, but we'll have time and we'll do that, and then that's something else in the afternoon. And then I'm thinking tomorrow night, because Friday nights with no work, y'all. It's gonna be great. I mean, who likes working, but in a kitchen? I will say, I saw that the weather's gonna be like kind of nice while I'm on vacation, and that kind of outraged me. Oh yeah, back attack, that's bad. This meteor kills Mog and Strago. Yep. Oh, we never picked up the experience egg. We need to go get the experience egg. He gets bit for a freaking billion. You know, we actually just need to go for this kill here. Oh my god. Please hit him, Cyan. Oh no, what's he doing? Alright, there you go. I guess he still has to wait the amount of time. Okay, yep, we died. Anyway, I forgot that we needed to wear a thing to make back attacks impossible. I forgot how bad those were. They're super bad. Because the other terrible thing about them is that in addition to everything else being bad about them, they make it so you can't hit everybody with a nice AoE attack, right? Depending on what the attack is, but after a couple of levels, you know, it's quicker and you don't get one shot by the meteor. It's like here, a regular fight. Because Mog comes in for, you know, like 2,800 there. Strago's the weak one here. He doesn't bring anything to this party. Mog at least is doing his part, which is good, because but you know, Strago, it won't take too long for him to get kicking here. Well, I mean, one more of those and he levels up, right? So, but that's how it's done. It doesn't take too long to level up, so it's 8,800 per T-Rex. You just save every time, because if there's two of them, sometimes you die. And we're gonna dance there, even though we probably shouldn't. Like, it probably would have been better to just hit him. It would have definitely been better to just hit him. It's okay. We hit him with the old dark side of the triangle, which does fine damage now. Not bad. Meteor, which kills us. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? The game will do this. The game will do this. And Meteor can't be reflected, right, and ignores magic defense. So the only way to live through a Meteor is to have enough HP to live through Meteor. And for two Meteors, clearly we don't have... Our highest level character can't live through a back-to-back Meteor, but that's why you have to save her. Ooh, Brachiosaur. Alright. So now, this is the really important one. You can get the best item in the game here, which will make us have 1 MP cost, which is busted, right? But we also might just lose to it, because it'll cast Ultima. It'll hit you for 2,000. But he'll probably kill us with an Ultima cast before we get it. Nobody here knows re-raise. But we might get it. These are the ones you want to get if you can get them. I think it's about 10% of the time it's a Brachiosaur. And there's the Ultima. It's probably going to kill everybody. So as you see, the Brachiosaur is the one you want, but... yeah, so these guys are, you know, real dangerous. You could fight here or other places. I usually just fight here even though you clearly die all the time. Because when you don't die, you get a level every time. You know, 16% of the time it works every time. Oh, they don't remember what they did last time. We've died since then. But anyway, this is what you do for like an extended period of time in 6. This is the end game thing, is you grind dinos in the forest, because this is the highest experience density, you know, that you get. And Cyan gets another experience, or speed +2, and you know, by the end of it, it'll be pretty good indeed, but But that's gonna do it for right now, guys. That'll be the video. We're gonna do some off-camera mining, probably for another 30 minutes before I go to bed. I'm gonna watch a little YouTube video and grind up some of the minor characters. And y'all will just have to trust me that I didn't hack the game and cheat them into level 35 or whatever. But tomorrow morning we'll be here to attack Kefka, to attack and dethrone the evil overlord of the world of ruin, and to try to set things to rights. I like the ancient city. You know, it's just, they don't give you enough words, right? You need 15 times as many words to tell the story better, because it's just like the sad thing, you know. The queen was in love with the Esper, he had to lay down his life, and then it's like, alright, here's your Esper, get out, you know. It's like, there's such possibility for a beautiful story there, but all they do is give you the inscription on the wall, right? It's like an archaeological find. But that's what 6 is. That's part of it. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. Like I said, I'm just gonna take a little time to myself and watch a YouTube video before I get tired here. I took a nap and woke up at like 8 o'clock tonight, you know, but I gotta quit talking animatedly. But I'll be around tomorrow all day long, and maybe I'll see you guys. It'll be Final Fantasy VI in the morning, most likely. Not sure about the afternoon. And then for a big chunk at night, we'll be playing Total War 3 Kingdoms, I think, and maybe wrapping up the Yellow Turban campaign or getting into all sorts of shenanigans. We'll see. We'll see. And then, you know, it's so exhilarating thinking that I'm not going to go to work and I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm not going in trouble, you know, in an adult kind of way. But, hooray! Vacation's great! I get to do all the stuff I normally do, but feel better. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, good night everybody. Good night Luke, so good to see you tonight. Good night Ellie. Good night Teddy Belcher. It's nice reminiscing with you about this stuff. Good night, our arcade. Maybe Octopath on Saturday, right? Maybe we'll begin on Saturday for the Octopath. We'll figure it out. I was wanting to start Dragon Age Origins, but we can do both of them. We'll figure it out. But that's all I've got for you guys right now. Good night.